Good afternoon, class. Today is Wednesday, April 29th. Let's get started. I always forget to skip past the beginning. Hey, so yesterday we did the Musical Mania Fiddler on the Roof. Hopefully you enjoyed that song, or at least are being exposed to some new language and some new music that you might not have heard of otherwise. So now, like I said, we're April 29th, Wednesday. We're focusing on one of my favorite musicals, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. This is a biblical story, but the piece of this song that we're looking at isn't religious, so that we can welcome everybody, whatever the religious affiliation might be, in this lesson. So this is a song in that musical called Prologue, and I don't want to give too much away. But what I want you to do first is what we always do with Musical Manias. The first thing I want you to do is listen to the song, and I just want you to highlight words you don't know. Okay, so the first is words you don't know. I'm shortening it because I know we've done this like a million times. Remember, this is part of a comprehension strategy. So it's not just because I want to torture you from home. It's because I really want you to think about what is that, what are the words that I don't know? Can I skip them, or do I need to use context clues and comprehension strategies to go back and make sure I understand fully? The second thing I want you to do is go through the song and see if you think there's any great examples of, I guess I should write it this way, whoops, word choice. So, sorry, one, we'll do unknown. And remember, the third time we listen to this, we need to have a picture. What do you think this song is actually about is kind of what we're answering in that third one. So first time through is unknown words. Second time through is things that we think are examples of word choice. Third time through, you're drawing a picture to match the scenario. Number one, the author writes, hide their hopes and their heads in the sand. What is the author saying? This is a perfect example, by the way, I'm just going to give it away, of figurative language, right? When you listen to this song, do you imagine people literally going to the beach, digging a hole like an ostrich, and sticking their heads in the sand? Not just their heads, but their hopes in the sand. I don't think that's what the author is literally saying. So is the author saying that A, some people like ostriches literally take their heads and put them in a hole of sand? Hint, that is not the answer. B, the author is using a metaphor to describe how some people ignore their hopes and dreams, which is just as useless and silly as putting your head in the sand. C, the author is using a metaphor to describe how some people are lucky while others are not. And D, the author is using a simile to describe how this story is upsetting, just like someone putting their head in the sand would be. Okay, so here's kind of, when I wrote this particular question, I was trying to trick you, right? Because it says in the lyrics, it says some folks are lucky and some are not, right? And so that would make you think that it's option C. You might also be tempted to pick option D because that sounds like an intelligent answer. It sounds like part of the song. But really stick back to that lyrics. Is it a metaphor or is it a simile? Now that we've identified it's not literal language, we can focus on, is it a metaphor or simile? And so in my mind, it's not using like, it's not using as. That means it has to be B or C. So I can use that from there to pick the best answer. So number two, this song would most likely be found A, at the beginning of the play, B, at the end of the play, C, in the middle of the play, D, after a tragic event in the play. So I want you to think about this one. I'm not going to help you really that much. I want you to think what images come to your mind. Where would you think? What's your best guess? And do you have any text evidence or any imagery from the song? And put that in the white text box right here that I'm pointing to. By the way, as always with all Musical Mania, you can absolutely do this in your Ultimate Language Notebook. There is a space for it. You may also do this on a spare sheet of paper. You may also do this on the computer if you so wish. So number three, the message that the author is trying to give us in this song can be summarized as A, following your dreams is useless, just like burying your head in the sand. B, to grab the listener's attention at the beginning of a longer story. C, to encourage the listener to follow their dreams and believe in their hopes. Or D, both answers B and C. Number 4, all of the following are pronouns except for he, folks, we, or I. Number 5, what do you know for a fact that this story is going to be about based on the information found only in this song? A, that this song will be about a boy whose dreams became a reality. B, some people in the story are going to be lucky and some are not. C, if you work hard and believe in yourself, your dreams will come true. D, the story will take place on another planet. The one that I think is tricky with this one is C, because, I hope that you're always being told to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. And if you're not, you should be. Absolutely believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. And because that's like a correct answer of what we should do, sometimes it's tempting to pick that answer. But in this case, that's not a certainty of something that's going to happen in the story. We need to go back to the text and focus what exactly is in that text and how can we use that to answer this question. Number 6. Which phrase could be inserted in place of before their time on the planet is through without changing the meaning of the song? A, because they believe in themselves. B, because they use their imaginations and see other planets. C, from the day they are born. Or D, before they die. So now we're going to go through, I'm going to go back through those answers for you. So at this point, you should have answered. We're going to go through this together. Number 1 is B. It's a metaphor how ignoring your hopes and dreams is as useless and silly as putting your head in the sand. Number 2, this actually comes at the beginning of the play. And actually, if you ever see prologue in a text, that means that it's a little short story that's like kind of a preview to the rest of the book. My favorite prologue, by the way, which is a book that we're not going to get to read this year, unfortunately, but I love this book. I read it maybe more than any other book with the exception of Harry Potter and Wonder, is Jurassic Park. So if you're getting to middle school and you're looking for an amazing but kind of challenging read, Jurassic Park is totally one of the best books of all time. And in that prologue, they introduce the idea of the raptors, and then they spend the next 5 chapters talking about other things. No dinosaurs for like the first half of the book except for that prologue. So the author kind of puts that there as a taste of what's going to happen without fully bringing you into the story. And that's kind of what this song is doing. It's giving you a taste of the action. It's previewing some of the themes that we're going to see, but not giving us the whole thing. Number 3 says, the message that the author is trying to give us in this song can be best summarized as, so the answer here is D, which is B and C. So it is grabbing the listener's attention at the beginning of a longer story, but it's also encouraging you as a listener to follow your dreams and believe in your hopes. Number 4 is B, folks, because all the other ones are pronouns. Folks is a plural noun. We should know. We go over that every morning. What do you know for a fact this story is going to be about? A, in a story about a boy whose dreams come true is literally a piece of that text that we just listened to. Number 6 is D, before they die. Before their time on the planet is through, before they die, don't forget to use that plug and chug strategy. Out of my mind. Let's review the questions that we talked about yesterday. Chapter 18, we had to react to Melody's thoughts about her sister. This is one clear instance where Melody is very jealous by her sister's ability to move and feels like it's rubbing it in her face, even though Penny doesn't really mean it this way. Chapter 19, she has 2 pre-programmed questions. One is for kind people and one is for rude people. For Melody, it depends on how it is asked. And I will say, like, being the sibling, my brother, as I believe I've said before, has a pretty severe disability with his eyes. He has to go through several experiences in his life completely blind. But, I mean, that doesn't stop him at all. He is still studying in medical school right now. He's still working really hard. He can still do pretty much everything that he could do without his disability. But it does have some impacts on his life. And in particular, once I brought him into my classroom, and he just wanted to see, his now wife was studying to be a teacher and wanted to see what a classroom looked like. And he came in and he was just like blinking all the time like this, because sometimes his eyes get so irritated and so itchy and so painful that he has to like kind of like this with his eyes. And it happens for like an hour at a time. And the kids in my class kept being like, why is he doing that? And they would go up to him and ask. And he really took it kind of the kind way and really explained what was wrong with his eyes. I've seen other people ask him similar questions like, dude, what is wrong with your eyes? And he answers very differently. So for me, I could kind of relate to this moment in the text. Asking someone, how do they feel? Is there a way that you can help? is always better. And remember that it's okay to be curious about people. It's okay to ask them about their experiences, especially if they're really different than your own, but do so in a really kind way. Okay, the personal challenge questions, number 1 was C, Mercury. Number 2 was C7. Number 3 was B, 2 years. Number 4 was B, Arizona. Number 5 is D, Budapest. Number 6 is D, lexicology. Number 7 is A, Africa. Number 8 is D, California. Number 9 is C, Bogota. Number 10 is A, the elderly. Number 11 is D, 20 to 23 feet. Number 12 is B, pumice. Number 13 is C, 46. Number 14 is D, Wyoming. Number 15 is A, cat. And number 16 is B, 30 minutes to 1 day. Number 17 is B, 1775. Number 18 is a combination of contradictory words. Number 19 is B, 20. Number 20 is C, earthquake. And number 21 is A, double vision. Number 22 is B, Gershwin. Number 23 is C, synesthesia. And then for nonfiction connection, obviously your answers are not going to be exactly the same as mine, but ALS is a condition also known as Lou Gehrig's disease that affects muscle movement and motor control. It doesn't affect someone's mental abilities. It is caused by genetics, or it is something that people are born with. It is a fatal condition, most people living 3 to 10 years after their diagnosis. What is Stephen Hawking known for in the scientific community? He is known for being a brilliant physicist developing ideas about how the Earth formed. He has also published many books on his findings. The chapters we're reading for today are chapters 20 and 21. Why do you think Claire is so mean to Melody? What is Mr. Deming's response to Melody coming to take the test? Does he want Melody on the team? And chapter 21 is what is going to the bathroom at school like? Why is it so humiliating? Why does Melody constantly think earthquake report? Why is she so upset even after getting what she wants? And that, And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for Language Arts. I will see you tomorrow.